Hi, hello, thank you for coming along to this video. Very grateful to you for your company. And my name is Paul Murphy. Just getting organised here. And if you know anyone else who watches this, hello Dylan and Emily. This is a series of recitals of some long lost lyrics that have been rediscovered in the last 2 weeks, and very briefly at the start here I'm trying to get them recorded so they exist in some format at all, as opposed to in here, which is the original book that they were written in, and also to leave a video behind to give some idea of the cadence and structure, if anyone wants to come along and put music to them at some point, because this is about 400 songs and I'm not going to be able to add those to my already somewhat extensive song catalogue. Okay, we're in 1990 here, we don't have a date on them. I'm just literally reading them as they come out. It's sometime after the 23rd of February 1990, and I'm going to restart where I left off last night, because this is video number 6, I think. To see your dreams die in front of you. And excuse me if I stumble over any of the words, but I have both a speech impediment and extremely tiny handwriting 25 years ago, 34 years ago, what am I talking about? 3, 2, 1. To see your dreams die in front of you. He was walking out on his own, saw a face that he used to know, when he dreamed of a love to grow, but she was not alone. He wandered his way home, he'd never felt so down, his hopes dashed to the ground. What else could he do? Do you know what it's like to see your dreams die in front of you? He never got to know her name, who she was or from where she came. She was the spark that lit the flame, and it was burning hard, but he still bore the scars of when he'd lost before. So he felt so unsure. He tried to think it through. He knew what it was like to see your dreams die in front of you. She always seemed to have a smile that seemed to say, let's talk a while. Held herself with a certain style, but could he make the grade? Or he was somewhat afraid that she would not say yes, that he would not impress, that it would all fall through, to once again see all your dreams die in front of you. He was waiting to take his shot, offering her everything he got, but he thought of all he was not, and so he hesitated, and in the time he waited, his chance had passed him by. If only he had tried, his dream may have come true. Now once more he knows what it's like to see your dreams die in front of you. Some of these pieces are unfinished. Well, I'm assuming they're unfinished. They might just be a very short poem in here. Because I used to take this book with me if I went out, and if we come to some of the annotations later, we'll find some of those. But again, I have to try and get these copyrighted, so I'm happy to make these videos that people seem to like and put them out for free. But this is a three-way shot. So you must indulge me here if I go off and something rekindles a memory. Don't want to ruin your day, but I'm in the end stage of a very serious neurological disease, and so I need to get these works. I want to get these works copyrighted. I mean, just on a disc that can be looked after easily. I want to make a video so that they can go out into the wide open world, because people seem to like my work, and I'm very grateful to you for the kind comments. And also I want to leave something behind for my children to be able to hear my voice and see their father as well. So there are, I'm sure, many other recitals on the internet, wherever you're watching this to, on YouTube or Patreon or any of my other channels, or maybe one of someone else's. I wouldn't want you to waste your time if you know that's not within the parameters of what you're looking for in the video. The next one doesn't have a title, and from now on I'll cut out as much of the chat as possible. I'll just call this one So Much Lay Ahead. So much lay ahead. I was just thinking of how it used to be, back when we were younger, back when we were free. So much lay ahead, now it lays in ruins. I did leave the page behind it blank in the book, so I'd obviously planned on that being a long song, and it may very well have been. Sometimes if I was writing here and I could see where the song was going, then I would downpad and up guitar, and because I had a home recording studio here. Well, the home recording studio was upstairs, and then I had a mini 4-track unit down here as well. Not a bad way to live, really, you know. You'll be surprised how unreasonable various partners and wives can be over the course of your life. I'm fed up of falling over guitars and cables and everything. Bless them all, bless them all. And they were, you know, right. But, what can I say, you know, that's musicians and songwriters for you, I'm afraid. Tools of the trade. Some of these annotations say that I was writing them on the front room carpet or something, and so you would get so rather than finish the song off, you would get the inspiration, and okay, I know where that's going now, and I would just plug in and then take it through onto recording. But I don't know any of these, very many of these from recordings. On my YouTube channel, I hope it's still in existence when I'm not. I think there's about 1,500 videos there, and I've managed to get most of, by coincidence. Move that box like that. So these are some of my albums from way back when. This is the Dark Christ, the 5 CDs I made under the Dark Christ imprint. Let me try to get the lyrics to those amalgamated. What was I saying? I know I was talking about something. Oh yes, so I've got the master CDs, and I've been able to make videos maybe in inverted commas to accompany some of them, and the outtakes as well. I've found about 60 CDs of session outtakes that were bounced down from the tape, because it was all tape in those days, of course, back when dinosaurs ruled the earth. And vote dinosaur. There's a lot less global warming in those days. Well, until the asteroid hit, of course, then it got very warm. I must focus. What am I doing here? Oh yes, but so I had a 8-track studio upstairs, 4-track Porter down here. Prior to that, I had a 2-track unit, which that was an amplifier. I'm chuckling because I'm picturing it now. I haven't thought about it in well over 3 decades. I'd like to know what happened to it, actually. It's a good piece of kit, that. amazed at the technology today, you know, just, I've got a 8-track digital recorder over there, and it's about the size of my telephone, you know, and, you know, my 2-track was just like, you know, the size of a wardrobe, or a woolly mastodon. So much of this material from the dating of it, this is 1990, those would have been recorded on C90s, and they are all up in the loft, beyond my reach. Right, shall we proceed? I'm afraid the next one is called Love is Like a Cancer. Love is like a cancer. Love is like a cancer. It eats away at you. Its agony, its purgatory, breaks your soul in two. Love is like a cancer, cripples you inside, controlling you, convulsing you, nowhere you can hide. Yes, it gets inside your bloodstream. Yes, it tortures you until you scream. No rest, no respite, and no cure. Takes you past the point when you can't take any more. Love is like a cancer, runs burning through your veins, burns till you weep, burns through your sleep. You can't escape its pain. Love is like a cancer, like a living hell, defeating you, destroying you. You can't break its spell. It gets inside your bloodstream, tortures you until you scream. No rest, no respite, and no cure. Takes you past the point when you can't take any more. Well, that was I guess that was a bad day when I wrote that. It's strange how things change. I'm here now. On this very day, it's the 1st of May 2023, and I've had this disease for around a decade, although its effects have only really been felt because it was misdiagnosed. First of all, it was missed by doctors, and then it was misdiagnosed by doctors, all until it was way too late. It's only in the last 3 years that it's really taken its toll, and only in the last few months, since November last year, that it is really, there was just nothing left. There's nothing left for me left to be eaten away. You'll see where I'm going now by using that word. You know, I obviously thought that I was having a bad day, so please bear with me. I'm trying to give you something positive here. Doesn't sound like it at the moment, yeah. You know, that song there, that was obviously written on a bad day, and what would I have been in 1990? I would have been, that's pre my birthday, so I'd have been 28 or 29. That's that one doesn't have a date on there, and I thought, you know, how bad is this? You know, I'd obviously had a relationship that had ended. This is a personal song, that's not anything, although bands would come around and say, you got any songs we can buy? Or would you write a song for us or finish this off? You didn't get too many other bands, you know, Paul, can you write a song? Love is like a cancer. Yeah, it didn't happen, you know. Where I'm going with this is, that was a bad day then. What wouldn't I give if whatever was going on in my life and in my mind on the day I wrote that, at the time I wrote that, what wouldn't I give to swap today for that? I would take that day there every day for the rest of my life, you know. Because on that day I could still eat, and I could still make a warm drink, and I could still hold things in my hands, and I could walk, and I won't go too graphic with it because, again, I don't want my... Dylan and Emily, put your fingers in your ears, okay? Or don't listen till you're 24. 24. How strange to be lost to your children when they're 9 and 10. the point I'm making here is, if you think wherever you are, you're listening to me, it applies to anyone, my children, or the Prime Minister, if she comes across it, whoever, if you think you're having a bad day now, and maybe you are, but you only know what a bad day really is when you know that you've just had to put your photographs of your children in an envelope, the last footage, for someone to send on to them. That's a bad day. I've gotten over every broken heart I ever had in my life, you know, every last one of them. Right, shall we carry on? There's probably only 2 people left. No. Once again, anyone who's been watching my recent videos, and you'll see me writing my new songs and standing there because up until last week I could still get through the pain barrier and try and do something on the guitar. And I could never think of titles for these songs. Someone said to me, well, this is 6 months ago. You always say just the other day, but it's like 6 months ago. So. And someone sent me a rhyme message because in one of my videos I'm going, I can't think of a title for this. What am I going to call it? This rhyme message read, how hard can it be to think of a title? Well, here you go. I mean, hardly any of these got titles, and there's 200 pages in this lyric booklet here, most of which have got a song on, and very few of them have got titles on. Right, so this is going to be called This Is All I Am Now. Yeah, I don't know for the title of this. Well, that'll do. That's a bit demeaning, isn't it? Not a bad title. It's appropriate. This is all I am now. Sitting in the window, remembering when I was whole. I had something to say back then, when I was still in control. Now I'm broken, like a slave on the rack, and I guess that there ain't no turning back. Nothing left to disagree on, nothing worth thinking about. Once it all seemed to mean so much before I gave in to doubt. For so long I fought alone, always under attack. Guess I've come so far now, there ain't no turning back. This is all I am now, everything you see. Nothing left to fight for, nothing left to be. Remember how I took it all, I used to be so strong. Took everything they threw at me and fought back with a song. Judged no one by what they had, a palace or a shack. Now I've left that all behind and I'm not turning back. Never succumb to prejudice, to the bigoted or cruel. Now I let them dance on me and mock me like a fool. Let them pour their score on me, point out all I lack. I do not care anymore, and I ain't turning back. This is what I am now, all that you can see. Nothing left to work for, nothing left to me. Goodness, that's right. Now, I'm not going through these in advance. I'm just clicking record and taking them as they come through in the order. So the order I'm reading them and recording them here is the order that they were written in. So I haven't gone ahead, and there you are. I've just been talking about, my disease and the paucity of road I have left to travel. And there you are. Strange how your words catch up with you at some point. How am I doing for time? 19 minutes. These videos log out. This one again does not have a title. I'm terribly sorry. You must excuse me. My telephone has gone into down mode, and I have to make sure. It suddenly sent me a message then saying, "Oh, I can't feel anything." Come on. I lose my temper in a minute. Stupid fingers. You can't feel anything. You see, the disease kills all your feelings. You know, there's nothing left. You might notice only one side of my face. Ah, man, stop going on about that stuff. I've got that thing, I don't know if you get it, that says emergency calls only. So, what am I going to call this one? I'm going to call this Reflections number 13, which is a bit of a cop-out. As you might gather from that, several other points when I've been strapped for a title, I've called them Reflections. I was up to Reflections 12 last night. But you know, that's what they are. So, Reflections number 13. I was falling from so far, had no sense of direction, pulled apart by broken hearts and too much genuflection, all alone and by myself with no shoulder to cry on. At least I made it on my own with no one to rely on. She had no time or point of view, at least none that she'd share, contemplating, dislocating, who wants to say beware. She wanted castles, crowns and things that I could not provide. All I had was a will to live and a free mind to decide. I put a roof above her head, but still she wanted more. So impatient for success, all night she would walk the floor. Winter snowstorms came and went. She blamed me for inaction, said I took her life away, and had planned all her distractions. I don't know about you, but to me that sounds kind of unfinished, don't you think? I think that was probably meant to go on a little bit longer. I wish it had, really. I don't think that song is about me. I'm playing the character of the I in that. As I was reading, I was thinking, I wonder how that's going to end. You know, when I'm reading this, the first thing I do is I try and, who am I? If this is me, then who's the other person in here? What will this be about? Anyway, the other thing I would point out, these aren't straight, if you go to my other poetry recitals where I'm reading from my books, for instance, they tend to be straight recitals, and so I apologise to all the people that think that these ones here are the same as those. I mean, on the plus side, there's a lot of people like it when I go off on tangents and do the backstory to them. But I'm having to read these with some cadence as well, because they are markers. If anyone wants to do a cover version of any of this material, at some point to come, I'm not going to be able to get the music down for them, but I can put the cadence down. And some musicians out there, God bless you all, you can see where I'm going and where I'm putting the breaks in. And you just got to come up with a key and put the key in and just work the chords out from there. But I want co-writing credit on the music as well, because I'm giving you a clue as to how it should go. And the next one is called I Remember, Like I Remember Yesterday. Remember how it was back then, when all the future was ours, when all we wanted was to hold each other, when we'd make love for hours. Oh, I remember, like I remember yesterday. Remember how it used to be. We had so much to say then. We were always on each other's minds. Will it ever be so again? I could look into your eyes all day, do anything for a smile from you. Days spent walking through beauty spots, and the nights when the beauty was you. Remember how it used to be, all the promises we made. Remember all the secrets we shared. Was it mere games we played? Oh, I remember, like I remember yesterday. Remember how it was back then. We set each other alight. Remember all the soft words we exchanged and how we lit up each night. We knew each other like we knew ourselves. We were together when we were apart. Remember how it felt whenever we touched, how good it felt to have you in my heart. Oh, I remember, like I remember yesterday. I've got a lovely tune running around my head. What all the future was ours. A-D-A-E. B minor, but all we wanted. D was to hold each other. A, when we'd make. A, D, E, A, when we'd make love for us. Oh, B minor, I remember. D, like I remember. A, yesterday. And repeat it. For a song, you'd repeat that. Oh, I remember. B minor. D, like I remember. A, yesterday. Okay, what have we got here? I can only assume how these are written, because they're all written in black pen, so you can't see where the breaks are, and there's no notations on these, but it looks like I guess I just broken up with someone, or someone had broken up with me, and and it tapped a rich vein of hurt in my emotions that I'll pour that onto the page. This one's obviously a faster one. Okay, this appears to just have a closing ending, and so I'm going to call this one, Was I Too Much in Shadow for You to See? I'm so sorry, I can hear the drum beat I would do on the Wonder where you're to now, baby, wonder who you're with. Did I hurt you so bad, baby, too bad to forgive? Now it's just dust on an old tombstone, another day back down the road, another stranger I don't know, one more overload. Did I break your heart then, baby? Did I make you weep? Break the spell that we'd cast, baby, when you were asleep? Now it's just an empty bloody boulevard, just another tale of sorrow, another someone with too much someone has to borrow. Did I change your address, baby? Did I change your mind? Did I put you in debt, baby, then leave you behind? Now it's one more kid with a problem, one more window with no glass, another church unpatronized, another hooker with no class. Maybe I broke my promise, baby, then moved right along. Did you see paradise then, baby, or just Babylon? Now it's just more fresh blood on the sidewalk, another neon sign in the dawn, someone new in sympathy, someone so forlorn. Was I too moralistic, too unrealistic? Was I too much in shadow for you to see? And that's him. I'd obviously written a coda piece at the end of it. And here's another unfinished one, well, which was obviously going to go on for 2 pages. And just checking there. Might get one more too, perhaps. I guess the next one is just called She Was. So, I don't know if there's any interest to you, but so this is the working structure of this piece here. So you can, so that coming out. I don't want to break the spine on the book, so I'd started it, and then I'd left a gap in there, and then I've gone over to the other page. So for the second page, I can see I had a strong opening for the next bit, and then where am I to there? down into there to filling it in, which probably looks a little bit strange, but once you've got the tune, and normally I have the tune, the melody, as you perhaps noticed what I'm doing here, pretty gosh darn quickly, and so you could do that because you had the tune then, and you could just go back in and work the words into knowing what the tune was going to be there. Right, now we're only going to get this one done and then I will end it out. So, she was turquoise, she was gold, she was tales left untold, she was amber, she was flame, she was far beyond blame, she was lightning, she was light, she was a bird song in the night, she was knowledge, she was truth, she was wise beyond youth, she was goddess, she was saint, she was strength to the faint, she was fleeting, she was time, she was beauty in rhyme, she was splendor, she was poise, she was sound without noise, she was balance, she was peace, she was the captive's release, she was culture. Actually, having said that, it looks like that piece on the second page was going to be a chorus. So I'd obviously worked on 2 choruses to go in and bring that up. Again, I do apologise for the nature of this, but these are not complete finished pieces. Well, some of them are, but I mean, I've just found these, I'm reading them to you now. This is the first time I've seen this since 1990, early 1990. So it's not in the same professionalism as when I take one of my lyric anthologies that are really behind me there on the shelf and read those to you. But this is, this is a copyright tape as well. So that was She Was, and the chorus is to She Was, the unfinished She Was. Well, she was charity to the poor. She was destiny at the door. She was sympathy with the lost. She was intricate and articulate, intimate. The next one's got a title, even though it's completely unfinished. There's only 7 lines, and it's got a title. What's happened is at some point I've gone through. I'd obviously just sat there with a pile of post-it notes at some point, and this is called this, and put them on there. And this looks like it was going to be one of those story songs. And shame I never got around to finishing it. Shame I never got around to finishing more. Yeah, the only thing we truly finish in life is life itself. Well, Alison, she always looks so chic. She says that someday she'll fight all the meek. If she does, their future's gonna look bleak. And there's some other stuff of which I dare not speak. Julie looks back, she knows about compassion. She always knew what cause was in fashion. She talks about her past with too much passion. Oh, goodness me. Okay, how am I doing for time? I've just seen what the next one is. Very few of these, but some of these were taken out and did make it into my stage act, my stage repertoire, and went on further from there. I guess that's how come a lot of the I don't know, but got left behind, but I cherry-picked out of these, which seems, I guess, well, he left a lot behind, but I'm still writing songs now. I mean, up until last night, I finished chapter 30 of chapter 11 of Prairie Winds. The next one, if you'll take it from me and come back to me, and this is the original handwritten lyrics, because I was looking around for the chorus, and the chorus isn't there. But the next one that's coming up is called Don't Tell Me That You Change. It's a very female, empowering song. I was writing this stuff long before Girl Power and any of that stuff came out, you know. There's not putting down Janice Ian and all the other, and the wonderful Laura Nyro. I hope I got that in on that tape. I need to close down, guys, mid-sentence. You've been extremely kind and generous with your time. And I hope that we will meet again on another video. Peace and love.